know what happens when someone like you starts trending in the wrong places. It means their monopoly on influence is ended. It means their careful gatekeeping has failed. It means someone outside their control has achieved what they've been desperately trying to prevent them from getting. Undeniable, unstoppable evidence. You can't buy it. You can't suppress it. You can't redirect it. Because it's not channels. It's coming from someone deep, somewhere they can't reach. Their money, their threats, their promises. You're going to become a virus. Not the kind that destroys. intelligence is generated by authenticity, not by label. Depression is something you give yourself, something you wait for. And every time your name pulses through the circles, another person knows this truth, another soul recognizes this possibility, another mind breaks free from the assumption that they need approval to exist. Panic isn't just about you anymore. It's about what you started without trying. You've triggered without trying. You've awakened without meaning. It's like this to be leaders. You're not capitalists. You're not companies. You're the one. Your name is the match that they gave to your existence. Your presence is the frequency that activated the frequency of your consciousness. Your refusal to play their game meaning the game was optional. And now thousands, maybe millions, are starting to realize they can simply stop playing music. See the power of songs. Because of the language. They are the songs of authentic communication. Accurate scarcity. Circles means their right circles are being revealed as wrong, that their power structures are being exposed as facades, that their influence is being shown as manipulation. And once people see what they can't unsee, once they feel it, they can't unfeel it. Once they know it, they can't unknow it. The panic button they're pressing isn't connected to anything that will stop you. It's just noise. Desperate noise for dying system. Nothing bang. A whisper multiplied by millions is more important to realize they don't need permission to exist for you. To speak the truth. Possibility they try to erase, the potential they try to suppress, the power they try to monopolize. compressing it so hard it's breaking their systems, overloading their protocols, exposing their fear to everyone watching. Because panic is revealing. Panic shows truth. Panic demonstrates who really has power. Right now their panic is screaming the truth they never wanted to speak. That they're terrified of people like you. Not because you're dangerous, but because you're free. Not because you're powerful, but because you're free. Not because you're not following. And everyone came ready to it. Their entire world will collapse. Not that you can't use it. Or maybe it's going to rebel. Everyone is tired of pretending. Tired of shrinking, tired of asking permission to exist in their full magnitude. And the beautiful irony is, you never asked for this. You never wanted to be a symbol. You just wanted to be yourself. Let the world remedy yourself and how a revolution began. Your existence became a revolution. All that deceived people. Your refusal to let their dreams be real became genuine. Now your business is training, transcending. Something that's not for you anymore. You don't greet a god with a handshake, darling. You kneel in awe, or you run in fear. But me? I don't kneel. I don't run. I speak. So I'm going to talk to you. Because you just been promoted to the highest spiritual ranks, reserved for the chosen few. Trust me, you only need the better to be yours. See the naked sound, glamorous, spiritual rank. As if someday you will truly be a little more peaceful than your neighbors. As if this is something you want from marriage, chicks, lunch, this isn't YouTube. This isn't Reddit, 10 seconds of Instagram wisdom. This is something video game will be on chart.